Headphones are a lot easier. I mean, a lot easier. Basically the same thing. We just don't have the push to talk, and they're soldered on. They're just different colors, different order. You can put them in the same color. Doesn't matter. Up to you on how you want to wire your own stuff.
Alright, well, welcome back to Headset Jacks Part 2. This time it's actual headphones instead of mics. This last time was all mics. This is relatively simple. It's a repeat of the last one. And spoiler alert, these work just fine. Of course, wiring them into the audio panel is a separate task entirely, and its own little complicated mess of audio panel mess. But yeah, these it's I don't know. I wouldn't say it's hard to screw them up, but if you follow an appropriate wiring diagram, or if you're making an appropriate wiring diagram to make sure that you're doing it correctly, by following examples and following the documentation that's available online and everywhere else, it's pretty straightforward. I've linked in the last one, and I'll link it in this one as well, as the link to the Steinair, here's how you wire them thing.
So I have to document my own, because I got two sources of documentation that are different. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it on these. Just do it consistently, so that way when you do it, you can wire it up correctly on the other end. So let's go with about the same way the Stein one does it. So that's the blue is on the barrel. Okay, that's fine. Blue is on the barrel. White is on the tip, and white and orange is on the ring. Headphones. That's the way I'm doing it. Doesn't really matter. Nope. Nope. Don't forget your heat shrink.
Yeah, that could have been fun. Having to unsolder those to put heat shrink back on them. Yeah, that's a cardinal sin of wiring, is moving too fast and not putting some sort of protective surface, or heat shrinking your connections, because you oopsied and decided to crimp a connector on or whatever. And it would be fine if it was single wires, but the problem is that, of course, this is a triple shielded, it's a triple wire with shields and casing around it, so there's no way to get a heat shrink on from the other end like there would be if it was a single wire. So yeah, you got to make sure to get them on there before you solder, otherwise you're screwed. Well, not really screwed. You just have to undo the whole thing and make a mess and redo it later. Yeah, there was no real problems with these. I think I said spoiler alert earlier. But yeah. Point, making your own documentation. When you do this on your own, if you're going to do it, write it down, add it to your documentation, add it to your wiring diagram.
All right, one more thing with these headphone jacks before I put them in the airplane. And I may have to take them out later because I'm going to paint the panels that they're up against. It's these fiber washers and shoulder washers. So when you install it, if you put the shoulder washer on first, and then you put the Then you put it through the panel or through the wherever it's going. Mounted to the aircraft. Most likely it's going to be a piece of aluminum of some sort. This hole's not quite big enough. But there's these phenolic or plastic or some sort of material shoulder washers. So these are designed to go through a 7/16 or larger hole. 7/16 fits just right. So then you'd put the piece, put it through the panel, and then the fiber washer goes on top of that, and then your metal washer and your nut. And what that does is you've got something on the bottom and top, creating a complete electrical isolation from the metal, and that will keep any sort of ground loop conditions from occurring, because the only path to ground your headset will feel or have is through the wire that's connected to the barrel, which is this one in this case, right? So it's not going to be able to go to ground through the rest of the aircraft. That's it.